There were only a few plain porcelain pieces and a screen I had embroidered by hand. I prefer quiet, your majesty. I answered softly. Consort Xian, do you resent me? My heart jumped. I wouldn't dare. Is it that you don't dare or that you don't resent me? He pressed. Since entering the palace, you've avoided me like the plague. If I don't come looking for you, you never set foot in Jinzheng Hall. Back in the residence, you still used to smile at me. There was an emotion in his voice that I couldn't understand. But after entering the palace, you've become distant. I lowered my eyes and said nothing. Was I supposed to say it was because I had seen through your cold, heartless nature? Or tell you your love was nothing but an illusion? I only feel your majesty has countless state affairs to handle, and shouldn't be troubled by palace matters. I barely found an excuse. The emperor let out a cold laugh. What a noble-sounding excuse. Consort Xian, I remember you weren't like this before. That was because back then, I was still foolish enough to believe in love, I said in my heart. People change. Your majesty. I lifted my head and looked straight into his eyes. Now, I only wish to raise Jack well and be a proper, obedient consort. The emperor's eyes were complicated and unreadable. He raised his hand as if to touch my face, but stopped halfway and finally pulled it back. Forget it, he stood up. I'll come see Jack another day. Tomorrow the empress is holding a chrysanthemum banquet. You should come too. Don't always shut yourself away. I obey. After he left, I let out a long breath. Kate asked quietly, Your Grace, His Majesty seems to care about you. I shook my head. An emperor's heart is impossible to read. Today he cares. Tomorrow he can throw you away like old shoes. Don't take it to heart. In this life, I only wanted to be a bystander. On the day of the chrysanthemum banquet, I deliberately chose a simple lotus-colored palace dress, with only 2 velvet flowers and a silver hairpin in my hair. It didn't look shabby, but it wouldn't steal attention from the Empress or Amy either. Mother, you look so pretty today, Jack said, looking up at me. I crouched down and looked at him. Jack, remember this. At today's banquet, no matter what you see, tell me when we get back, don't speak too much on the spot. He nodded obediently. I understand. Just like Mother says, trouble is always around. But if you don't listen, it can't reach you. I patted his head with relief. In my past life, I had chased power obsessively, and never properly taught Jack how dangerous people could be. In this life, I wanted him to stay away from these filthy fights and become a sensible, open-minded person. Kate hurried in. Your Grace, it's getting late, we should leave. I held Jack's hand and walked out of Jiahua Palace. The autumn sunlight fell gently on the palace walls, making the glazed tiles shine. This imperial city was so beautiful and so cruel. The banquet had already been set up in the imperial garden. The Empress sat in the main seat, her bright red phoenix robe making her look dignified and magnificent. Amy sat to her lower right, wearing a vivid rose-red palace dress, covered in jewels and dazzlingly beautiful. I greet your majesty, the Empress. I led Jack and bowed properly. A sincere smile appeared on Anna's face as she pointed to the seat on her lower left. Sister, you're here. Sit here so we sisters can talk. Hearing that, I got up and brought Jack over to sit down. Amy gave a cold snort. Your majesty really is close to Consort Xian, Anna said gently. Consort Xian is my own sister, and she gave his majesty his eldest son. Of course I should look after her. Eldest son, so what? Amy lightly waved her round fan and said pointedly, he isn't the legitimate son. I lowered my head and sipped my tea, finding it ridiculous. Did Amy not know that legitimacy came from ritual, not just birth? If she insisted on using legitimacy to rank people, wouldn't she be making the whole court laugh at the royal family? What was the point of fighting over empty titles? In the end, everyone became dust. Seeing that I wasn't reacting at all, Amy awkwardly changed the subject. Your Majesty, I heard the Ministry of Rites is already preparing for the selection. In another month or so, the palace is going to get lively. His Majesty has been on the throne for 3 years. It is time to fill the harem. Amy was well informed. Amy parted her red lips. I was thinking, if a few more princes and princesses could serve at the Empress Dowager's side, she would be delighted. She paused on purpose. Just like the eldest prince, so clever and bright. Instead of getting angry, I smiled. I almost forgot to congratulate you, Amy. I heard your palace recently received a Guanyin statue for fertility. I'll come burn incense another day. After all, who in the harem can carry a royal child still depends on divine blessing. Amy's face instantly went 3 shades paler. For a moment, she had no idea how to respond and only glared at me hatefully. The selection ceremony in the Emperor's 3rd year came earlier than it had in my past life. I sat below the Empress and looked over the young women standing in the hall. Most were 15 or 16, fresh as flower buds. Then a familiar name suddenly reached my ears. Emma, daughter of Vice Minister Tom, age 15. My head snapped up toward the center of the hall. Even though I had prepared myself, seeing Emma bowing there still made my heart shake. She wore a pale green palace dress with delicate features and a pure, graceful air. She looked exactly like Anna in her youth. The hall instantly went quiet. I quietly glanced at the Emperor and saw him staring hard at Emma, not even noticing his teacup tilting in his hand. Meanwhile, Anna's face had turned deathly pale, her fingers gripping the armrest tightly. Keep her name. Grant her a sachet. The eunuch's sharp voice rang out. Emma respectfully gave thanks. As she withdrew, she casually lifted her eyes, and I quickly looked away. I sighed inwardly. In this life, we finally meet Emma. Emma was made Beauty Chin and given residence in Wanking Pavilion. Her rank was higher than in my past life, and her residence was more luxurious. It was clear how much the Emperor valued her. The Empress claimed she was ill and canceled everyone's morning greetings. On my way to Funning Palace to greet the Empress Dowager, I saw a group of eunuchs and palace maids in the distance carrying all kinds of rewards. They were heading toward Wanking Pavilion, led by George, the Emperor's personal attendant. Your Grace, should we avoid them? Kate asked quietly. I shook my head. No need, we'll go our own way. Just as we turned past a corridor, we ran straight into Amy. She was dressed especially brightly today, her jeweled hairpieces flashing in the sunlight, but they couldn't hide the gloom in her eyes. You must be joking, Amy. I just came back from greeting the Empress Dowager. The Empress Dowager really does favor you. Amy snorted coldly, but I'd advise you not to get too pleased. You know exactly who Emma looks like. The Empress is probably losing sleep over it right now. As her younger half-sister, aren't you going to comfort her? She deliberately emphasized the words younger half-sister. I sneered inside. Amy was trying to provoke me into going after Emma, so she could sit back and profit. The Empress has His Majesty's concern. Why would I need to meddle? I said calmly, but you don't look well lately, Amy. Should I summon a doctor for you? Amy's face darkened. Don't trouble yourself. Then she flicked her sleeve and left. Kate looked at me worriedly. Your Grace, Lady Amy seems to have bad intentions. Ignore her, I cut her off. Let's go back. Jack should be done with school. In the days that followed, the balance of the harem quietly began to shift. The Emperor summoned Emma almost every day, and rewards flowed into Wonking Pavilion like water. The Empress's illness kept coming and going, never fully improving. Amy kept trying to run into the Emperor in the Imperial Garden, but it barely worked. As for me, I still kept to myself, focused on teaching Jack, occasionally greeting the Empress Dowager and hearing about palace affairs from her. During the Dragon Boat Festival, the palace held a celebration banquet. It was Emma's first official appearance at a major banquet since entering the palace. Everyone was waiting to see how this new favorite would perform. The banquet was set around the pavilions in the Imperial Garden. I arrived a little early and chose an inconspicuous seat.